Thanks so much to Purple Haze for singing for us. Please all take your seats. On behalf of the Weinberg College of Arts and Sciences at Northwestern University, it is my very great pleasure to welcome you to this very hot commencement ceremony. I have always enjoyed commencement ceremonies. In fact, I get positively teary-eyed when I hear pomp and circumstance. My father was a professor at Swarthmore College and the marshal of their commencement there for 25 years, and I went to commencement every year as a child, and you know, I never tired of it. I'm a psychologist by training. Yes. And although I am not a memory researcher, I do find research on what humans do and do not remember absolutely fascinating. Do you know there has been research done on what graduates remember later about their graduations? These studies reveal that a year later, almost none of the graduates remember who spoke, and a large majority can recall nothing of what was said at their graduation. So, essentially, what I, President Shapiro, and Steve Harper will be doing today may be totally irrelevant. However, even though what we are doing is irrelevant, what you are doing is not. Ours is not a culture that places a great emphasis on rituals and rites of passage, but commencement ceremonies are one of the few sorts of rituals we do have, and I personally believe they are very important because they are one of those rare opportunities in life to mark an important passage. How many other times are there in life with such a definite sense of completion? There, I'm done with that chapter of my life. I remember when I graduated from college, I was actually overcome with sadness because I had really enjoyed college, had made many friends, and I realized that my relationships with my friends and my professors would never be the same again. And they weren't. And they won't be for you. But some of your friendships from Northwestern will be with you for the rest of your lives. And other new challenges, adventures, and relationships lie ahead for you. Whatever you do remember, if anything, from this ceremony, you will soon realize after you have left this hall with your degree in hand, well, actually, it will be a diploma box, you will have crossed the line to become a graduate, an alumnus. And as a graduate of this great university, you will join our other illustrious alumni who have become leaders in business, in science, in law, in healthcare, in education, in politics, in the arts, and in the entertainment world. Some of you, like some of our other alumni, will actually change the world. You should be proud of yourself. You achieved admission to a highly selective university, one of the premier places in the world for learning and discovery. You have pursued and completed a challenging course of study here, and many of you have worked with our faculty doing research in their labs, in the field, or in the library. Many of you have worked in organizations throughout Chicagoland. You have been a part of this great university and the larger city in which we live. You are about to become an alumnus of this great institution and embark on many adventures. Some of you probably have your plans all laid out, or you think you do, and some of you do not have your plans laid out. But neither group of you should worry, because in getting to know our alums, I have found that many of the paths they have taken have been indirect, and I would never have been able to predict their career paths based on their undergraduate majors. Indirect paths are no less successful, and some of them are actually much more interesting. I'll just give you a few profiles of some of our alums. For example, I have met Daphne Maxwell Reed from the class of 1970, who majored in interior design, not something you can major in Weinberg College any longer. While she was here at Northwestern, she was our first African-American homecoming queen and went on to be the first African-American model for Eileen Ford modeling agency and the first African-American woman to appear on the cover of Glamour magazine. From modeling, she went into acting, and her best-known role was that of Aunt Viv on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She and her husband currently run a film studio in Virginia. couldn't necessarily predicted that from that major in interior design. Then there's John Musker from the class of 1975, an English major who is a writer, director, and producer at Disney. His most recent film was The Princess and the Frog, but he also directed Little Mermaid and Fox and the Hound and many other Disney animated films. And he declares that it's because of his English major and his understanding of literature in a good storyline that he is able to do what he does today. Go English majors. Then there is Maria Arana, class of 1971, a Russian major and a pom-pom girl who went on to become an award-winning novelist and the editor of the Book World section of the Washington Post. And recently, I met a more recent grad, Daniel O'Keefe, a philosophy major from the class of 1993, who I met on a recent trip to the Bay Area. Morningstar named Daniel their Stock Fund Manager of the Year for 2008. Not the best year for being a stock fund manager. By the way, he told me when I was meeting with him that he only hires people to work for him who have been arts and sciences majors because he believes they are the best critical thinkers, writers, and speakers around, and we agree. Now, these four alums I've mentioned just scratch the surface of the fascinating lives and careers of alums from Weinberg College in Arts and Sciences, who I've had the great pleasure of meeting as dean of this college and whose ranks you will be joining today. Now, perhaps the accomplishments of these graduates from a number of years ago sound daunting or very far away from where you are in your life. But I must tell you, you are every bit as impressive. You've just had a fewer years to show us your stuff. When I think of what all of the class of 2010 has accomplished, I just marvel. You may or may not know this, just an example, that one of your classmates, Veronica Roth, the Weinberg creative writing major in English, has sold her first novel, Divergent, to HarperCollins. It will be published in the summer of 2011. Others of you have started companies, published papers in academic journals, gotten patents, written blogs, started charities, worked in soup kitchens, gotten Fulbright, Goldwater, National Science Foundation fellowships. You played on teams, you've sung in a cappella groups like Purple Haze, you've been active in student government, you've served on our college student advisory board, you've performed in WAMU, you've danced in Dance Marathon, you name it, you've done it. To have achieved at the level you have, indeed to have gotten into Northwestern, I know you are all very smart. I know you're extremely organized and very hardworking. Obviously, these are characteristics we on the faculty all admire. But my one piece of advice to you as you go on with your life is please do not always yearn for the next thing and be so busy checking things off on your professional list of things to do that you do not enjoy your life. For as one of my favorite poets, Chicago poet Gwendolyn Brooks said, "Exhaust the little moment, soon it dies, and be it gash or be it gold, it will not come again in the identical disguise. So savor your life, the moments of celebration, the gold like today, and even savor the sadness. Each year it is with sadness that we bid our graduates goodbye. But it's also extremely gratifying to see them go on and do wonderful things with their lives. There is no better gift to us than you and what you make of your lives. We look forward to hearing about the accomplishments and life events of the members of the class of 2010. Please do keep in touch and let us know where you are and what you are doing. And to the very hot families of these wonderful graduates, know that they could not have done it without you. Not only your financial support, which I know is substantial, but also your emotional support. Congratulations, class of 2010, and thank you. We will miss you. It is now my extremely great pleasure to introduce Morton Shapiro, the 16th president of Northwestern University.